October 6th. That's just for notification of editing and logs. This will be the second time I've made this run from Lebanon to Texas. It'll be Lebanon, Tennessee to San Antonio, Texas. This isn't really going to be an informative kind of thing. It's going to be more of a one-sided question and comments read for answers. I'm not going to claim to know much. I've been driving for a little more than a year. Been watching a lot of YouTube truckers that say just start one to see what happens. So I guess this is my start one to see what happens. Just Trucking's a good one that I got a lot of inspiration on when I was going through school. This Guy Trucks is a good one to listen to if you want to see the downs and ups of owner-operator, which he was another one I found when I was in school. And I guess most of these are just going to be a road-face video recording. This is about 2 or 3 hours into my day. Started this morning about 7 in Franklin, Kentucky. Headed to San Antonio. Of course, I won't make it there today with the hours on my clock. From Franklin to San Antonio, it's about 16 hours. With all these backups and constructions, you can't make 16 hours and 11 any better. Of course, you're going to hear the jingling of my little road buddy here, Anubis. You'll probably hear me yelling at him occasionally because he won't lay down or he's getting into something. He is a little dog, so he's not too rambunctious in the truck, and I don't got to worry about anybody suffocating me in my sleep because they would lay on me. Name's Chris. Right now my YouTube profile is Greenhorn Trucker. I might change that, I don't know. Just one of those waiting to see how things work out. I figured I'd just give it a shot. And of course you've been with me since I apparently started this right before some backups. And my CB is down. Better turn that up.
I don't want to be first, Hoss. I'm just real mad.
And of course, they're on there griping and complaining. And you got the guys that have radios that don't turn them on until something happens. Then you got the guys that their radios are always on, their mic's always in their hand, and they're still complaining, except they're giving everybody their 2 cents.
I know this thing is working. Hey, careful out. I thought it wasn't getting out.
I guess I'll be one of those person that ins and outs with their talking. I'm not really a big talker. I'm usually the guy that sits there and just kind of listens because I ain't got much to say and don't want to make a fool of myself. Had too many experiences. I'm making a fool of myself by running my mouth. And it looks like y'all just be on the road. Along for the ride with me. Marker 183 westbound 40. Fun.
Thank you once again, there, big old flatbed.
Well, I guess I go ahead and start with my questions. And I guess the biggest one I've got as being a driver is, why are all these other drivers so impatient for when people are passing on a 3-lane road that they've just got to jump into that carpool lane to pass and put a guy in the middle because they're impatient? That is my biggest question and complaint. Why? Why pass somebody that's already trying to pass somebody when if you just wait 5-6 seconds, maybe a minute?
Amazing once everyone gets over and follows the fucking signs on traffic, bro.
And of course, I'm in his back. I'm like everybody running their mouth on the radio. We're moving. Oh, I hate the jerk to take off. Oh, I hate taking off on hills. This truck jerks so bad. Good old 2020 Freightliner. It's Cascadia. I got an automatic. Gotta say, I'd probably enjoy driving a manual better, just because it'd give you more to do while you're driving instead of just sitting here holding the wheel. But nope, just a lowly automatic. Though it is a lot more bearable in traffic to just have an automatic, not sitting there pumping your left foot up and down constantly. Oh, that's not good. It's not good at all. Let's see. Right lane closed, and yet people are still going up the right lane. That's another thing that doesn't make sense. Why in the world are you just trying to pass everybody just to have to get over again? The insanity of just people on these roads and everybody only thinking about themselves.
Westbound, they got a big truck that went off the road going either left lane, but happened just before you go down the big hill.
That looks like I got a dry bulk tanker from me. And of course, there's people trying to snake out and go around because we're stopped. Why is it that when people see red lights, they don't just start slowing down, they try to go around? Impatient people. So impatient. They're inconsiderate. Like another thing, why don't people let people over when it comes to on-off ramps? Especially semis. It's not that hard to back off and let us over. No, you've got to try to accelerate past. And then we're stuck between your little four-wheel or another semi-driver being an a-hole and whatever's coming up the ramp to get onto the interstate, whether it be another truck, a bunch of four wheels. Like, nobody's considerate anymore. I guess that chalks up to one of the reasons that people don't really consider it for truckers. It's one of those cases where the few ruin it for the rest.
That ain't in it yet. You need to go that left lane. If you ain't past the cones, y'all got a semi in the tree line. Hey, don't let that fucking international in. He's seen the sign.
And it looks like we got a truck off the road in the grass. shoulder up here. That explains a lot.
Fucking needs to get an English dictionary and stuff, or go back to freaking elementary school.
Alright, cool. He's rolling backwards to let everybody know. That's somewhat of what we need. Let's wait to see how many people actually stay in the left lane. I'm willing to bet at least one or two four-wheels will run up in the right lane because they see it's empty and all they see is trucks. Oh, I'm a company driver, by the way. I haven't mentioned that. No owner-operator here. Nope. I went through a company, got my CDL, went through my 6 weeks of training, and they threw me in a truck, and I've been running ever since. Ran about a month and a half, and then I had a dedicated route fall in my lap. I've been running for that for about a year. And like I said at the beginning of this, I just started doing a new route where they changed everything up. They got me running from 2 stops in Kentucky to San Antonio, where before I was doing a couple stops a day and then running into a cross dock. No more cross dock. I guess they decided it was too much of a hassle to have us all go to one place and then just have one set of guys or 2 set of guys running stuff back and forth from the cross dock to San Antonio. But hey, it's more miles. Go from about 2,200 miles a week to about 25. So that'll be a nice little impromptu raise without being a raise, just extra miles. I gotta say, the company I started with seems like it's pretty cool. Very informative. The teachers that I had to go through school with, he was pretty cool. The instructors for the tests, they weren't too bad. My trainers are pretty cool too. I had a guy that was my first trainer that he was pretty easygoing guy, easy to get along with for 2 guys in a truck for 3 weeks. I was home on the weekends, but yeah. And surprisingly enough, the truck I'm in now is the truck I trained in for the first 3 weeks. So when I got started on my own driving, I already knew the truck. I knew how it drove, I knew how it handled, I knew its quirks. I knew everything worked. And the one thing I gotta say about this Cascadia is I hate the way they did the vents for the drivers, where they're horizontal up and down, and they're at an angle already, so you really can't get any air on your legs or your lap for when you get all hot and sweaty from sitting in this seat for so long. They got a pretty good spread left to right, but up and down, nope. Ooh, looks like, oh shit. Oh. Where did he go over the guardrail? He must have truck doesn't have to sit blocking a lane, so that he's got the right angle to pull. There we go. We're back to open road. On the road again. Yeah, I don't know the rest of that song. Back on, just hold the wheel. That's one thing I gotta say I don't like about the truck too. It's governed at about 66 with the pedal, and if I'm lucky with cruise, I can get it to 70 if I got a good downhill. I probably won't do any editing these videos until I get used to it, because just doing this on my phone. I was trying to do it with a dash cam, but the one I end up getting only do 4 hours of recording, and I don't plan on flip-flopping memory cards for a dash cam just so I can run my mouth. Texas straight through. They load me down to get the most bang for the buck for transport, but nope. This being my second week doing this run, I'm running almost as empty as I did the first run. I come back with stuff, but you think I'd go down with stuff as well. So I guess with the company I'm running for, this is more convenient than having to do a crosstalk, where they're having to rent the space, pay the people, and have 2 or 3 extra trucks for doing runs, or this way they can run like 4 or 5 guys and do all the pickups. Couple that got to go to Michigan, so they might be running teams so they can get everything done in a week. Sorry for the shakiness. The road's got a little bit of a groove, rattle to it. That phone mount ain't exactly the most stable. This is a whole lot more enjoyable on 40 than the one from Knoxville to Nashville. All that dead, well, not dead, but just road and trees on the side with not much in between. Makes it kind of a monotonous roll. Kind of get the highway hypnosis, I think is what it's called, where you can drive for an hour or two and not remember anything you passed, or not remember going that distance, because you just kind of get hypnotized by the road. That's why I don't like driving at night. Oh, looks like a rest area coming up. I might take advantage of that rest area real fast. Nature calls. Outside when I get there. Hey. One good thing about running a route every week is you kind of learn what's where and about how far you can go, and kind of set up your stops. They close down these rest areas and don't say anything until you get to them. Yeah, it looks like that one's closed. Which I never understood why they close rest areas. Are they using it for parking DOT equipment? Are they working on the facilities? Trucks and drive and all that. How do you know what model of truck is what model of truck, other than the manufacturer? Because I know this is a Cascadia made by Freightliner, but like I don't know what engine's in it. I don't know what transmission's in it. I don't know any of that. Like I hear all these people on the radio talk about, oh, that's a nice 680 or a 520 or whatever the numbers are. Like, how do you know what's what? Like, obviously, you won't know for sure people that have personal preference, like they might like a Freightliner, but they don't like the engine in it that comes with the factory, so they'll swap it out. Or people might have a Volvo that's got a Cummins, like Just Trucking, which I don't think Cummins comes factory in those, considering Volvo's European. That always kind of make me scratch my head and go like, Then this talk of these self-driving semis. All these people are saying that us drivers are going to lose their jobs because of them. The jobs are going to be losing because of them. But I don't think we will. We may not make as much money with them, but I don't think we'll lose our job. Because somebody's got to be there to do the walk around pre-trips, check the tires, make sure nothing's falling off the truck, make sure the trailer's alright to hook it up. Someone's got to be there to drop the landing gear and disconnect the fifth wheel. Someone's got to be there to scale the truck and slide the tandems. Yeah, a lot of these newer trucks I've seen where they've got the tandems can be controlled through the cab. The truck has to be set up for that. The trailer has to be set up for that. I know a lot of trucks nowadays, you can control the fifth wheel, sliding it by a button in the cab because it's air controlled. But still, you're going to want somebody there to see it move so they know exactly where it's at. Because just because you can put a sensor on something and say, okay, it reads this and that, there's always going to be that margin of error. I know some trucks have a fifth wheel release control, but again, you got to have a truck set up with that. That's extra maintenance and checks on that stuff to make sure it works correctly. So like, they're pretty sure there's going to have to be somebody that rides in these trucks that are self-driving. Because I don't think a computer's going to be able to handle driving a 53-foot trailer or a double through cities. I think that's still going to take a person. A person's going to have to drive that 7,500 foot long truck through cities and backing up. Good Lord, backing up. Someone's going to have to be there to get out and open the doors and back these trailers up, because sometimes you've got to just about jackknife your truck to get them around a corner to get into a tight space. That's going to take a driver that's been driving a couple months to know how to do drives like that. The only thing I can see that these self-driving trucks might do is make it to where us drivers don't have to drive the 500-600 miles between stops on the interstates. We'll be able to just kind of sit there and relax. Not so much monotonous and stress from the driving. Of course, me being a young guy, well, not young, but younger than most of the guys out here that say they've been out here for 20, 30 years. I've been out here going on 18 months. December, I think, will be 18 months for me. Trying to find things to keep myself occupied or just unbored is crazy. Try to listen to podcasts, but that gets boring after a while, to the point where it's no longer entertaining to listen to 3 or 4 different guys because of what they talk about. Tried to do audiobooks, but damn, those things get expensive fast. YouTube's a nice one if you can just find somebody that kind of just talks. You don't got to do a lot of visual things where you got to actually see what you're watching, because at least then there's a little extra, not just podcast talking to a YouTube video, because you'll be able to glance over and see something every once in a while. radio that isn't just having a pity party, throwing a fit, cussing everybody out on the radio. Or just finding people that have the radio on. That's the biggest complaint I've got to say out here. People not having the radio on until something goes on, and then the a-holes that won't follow the speed limit because they're super truckers. That's not a compliment. Or the guys that can't just kind of stay in line and just kind of cruise. They got to be the guy out ahead. They got to be the guy passing everybody. Like, what's wrong with just getting into a line and just kind of cruising? If you're in that big of a hurry to get down the road and get where you're going, it sounds like you're running late. Sounds like you're running late. And you should have left an hour before and stopped waiting until the last minute. Like this guy up here on the left, he should be in the right lane or the middle lane here, because we're going up a hill with a truck lane, and he's trying to be super trucker hill climber up here, and he's going to get over and cut somebody off because this left or right lane's going to end, and he's going to be in the center lane at that point probably. It's things like that, they just tick everybody off. It's guys like that just make everybody else not like having truckers on the road. Like this Jeep looks like he was about to change lanes without using his blinkers. For the love of God, people, use your blinkers. Let people know what you're gonna do. I'm driving a 75-foot, almost 80,000 pound vehicle fully loaded, and I got people that just change lanes on me. And it's like, really? I can't stop on a dime. Or I get the people that turn their blinkers on right as they're turning instead of before they turn. Which that's better, but you gotta give people a second or two to register what you're doing. Or the people that like to change lanes and don't even give you space. Those are the worst. Like, if you were to speed up or they were to slow down any when they change in their lanes, you'd get clipped or you'd hit them. Like, those are the people that are just inconsiderate. And yeah, I know I just complained about somebody just hopping in line and following, but I don't try to run up and lead the pack. I just try to get in front of the guy that's ahead of me that's running a little slower. Because, like I was saying, I'm basically empty. And there's no point in me trying to ride his ass to accommodate him doing what he's doing when I'm lighter and empty. Lighter and faster. Have about a truck's length distance between you and the guy in front of you. That's not necessarily the truck and the trailer. It'd be nice to have the truck and the trailer distance without somebody hopping in it. But I try to keep at least the tractor's length between me and the guy in front of me, unless we're in bumper to bumper. Nightmare to drive next to. thought for you. Why is it all the people, 4-wheelers, 18-wheelers, and all in between, the ones you see that have all kinds of damage to their vehicles from where they were in an accident, whether they're their fault or whoever, are always the most reckless driving people around you. Like, I don't know how many times I see cars with busted front ends, and they're the ones weaving in and out of traffic, not using their blinkers, passing me with no less than a car's length between me and them, so they're almost clipping my front end. You'd think the people that have been in accidents would be more cautious drivers, because they realize, okay, I've been in an accident, this has messed up my car. But no, it seems like the more the car has damage on it from where the people have hit things or been hit, the more reckless they drive, which makes no sense either, because it's like, that's repeating the same thing, not changing how you're driving. It's like insanity, because the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing expecting a different outcome. Wow, I've been doing this for 40 minutes. I guess it gets easier the more you do it. Like I said, I probably won't edit this at all. Now, I may not even give it a title. I might just throw it up there. I think I've got 2 other videos I've done where I played with my dog and I was letting him chase a drone around. I might just do one of these a day just to get used to it. I know a lot of the guys I watch, they do one like every other day. I guess because they've got editing and everything else they do, so it takes them a minute. That, I've heard uploading these videos after a certain point's a nightmare. But yeah, I guess I'll end this here. It's just Chris behind the wheel. I guess I'll ramble on later about something else. And again, this isn't me telling you how to do anything. This isn't me showing you how to do anything. This is more me asking questions and just giving thoughts. Y'all are essentially reading a journal that's an open book.